Bible for Jesus, and I found him. He's right there. Look, he's real tan. He's right there, right there. We ready? Are we recording? Oh, I just snapped. Hold on, watch this. Watch this brand placement. I'm gonna get a contract with Snapple if it's the last thing I do. Hopefully it's not the last thing I do. And hey, my name's Steven. Don't trust this man. I installed Snapchat on my phone this weekend, and it scares me. I haven't actually used it yet. I've sent 2 snaps to a friend whom I know won't mock me or make fun of me for being as old as I am and for trying to figure out how Snap works. So this isn't what I want to talk about today, but there's this Bible. I dropped this Bible last episode. It's a Bible that we got from my son. We got it for him 6 years ago, so he would have been 41. I'm just kidding. And it's called the 252 Bible, and it's all geared towards pre-teen boys. Is that dumb? Is that dumb to do that to the Bible? Are we saying, hey, kids, the Bible's okay, but if we throw some typefaces like that on there, and if we talk about how you can become smarter, stronger, deeper, cooler, you might want to read it more. The Bible's crazy interesting on its own. I mean, listen, even if you just study the Bible as a collection of pieces of literature, it's really quite amazing. It's replete with all the things that any good story, calm down, I'm not saying it didn't happen or it's not true, just bear with me. Any good story has, right? Sacrifice, violence, right? Love, hope, redemption, forgiveness. Like even if you think it is all just someone's idea, it's really well done. I mean, it's a good read, I should say. Obviously, there's some really horrible stories. Those create questions that our faith has to answer. At least we should consider. I'm not being flippant about that. All I'm saying is, I don't think you need to give it a really cool, like, copperplate Gothic typeface and talk about how Jesus was, man, 6th grade was tough for Jesus too, man. Geometry, right? No, it's the Bible. Let the Bible be the Bible. It's not even what I want to talk about. I'm done. I'm sorry. Forgive me. So I watched Moana this weekend. You're welcome. Actually, I watched it twice. It was a really good movie, huh? Disney, right? Or Pixar. Well, Pixar people. Anyway, if you've seen the movie, or if you haven't, this is not a spoiler. At the beginning of the movie, an opening title sequence, they show the I guess it's Cinderella's castle from Disney World. Is that right? And it made me think about how much fun. I've been to Disney World a lot in my life, and I went as recently as 5 years ago. Anyway, it's a little while ago, but I've gone as an adult. And it made me think about why it's fun to go to Disney, why people like going to Disney, and it made me think about the atmosphere, the effect Disney attempts to achieve. Even there's a Disney store at a mall near my home, and when I go to the mall, sometimes my daughter and I go to the mall, and we'll walk by the Disney store, and it's almost like, even though it's just shirts and stuffed animals, there's this pool, Chipotle, can't stop. There's this draw to kind of go in the Disney store, and when you're at Disney, you have this feeling, and the feeling is in both places, and even I felt it as the movie started, is you can kind of like escape the world, for me anyway, and it got me thinking about heaven, because that's kind of for me anyway, for folks who ascribe to what we can, I guess, call, I don't know, that's a separate conversation, the Christian faith. I mean, generally speaking, you could say that we believe in an afterlife. I believe, as the Apostles' Creed says, that Jesus will return to judge the quick and the dead, to judge us, to kind of take a stock of our lives and all that stuff, and I think something will happen after that. Now, as I've mentioned, I think in past episodes, I'm actually a universalist. It's a whole other conversation as well. So I think eventually everybody gets in. But I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about, like, heaven. I want to talk about that feeling of problems ceasing. Because, when I think about our most recent trip to Disney, it's a world inside the world. It's a world apart from the world. And obviously there's an economic impact. It costs money. It cost us a lot of money to go and to stay at a Disney hotel and to do a meal plan. And But once that was all sorted, you just do I think when we went, it was a card. Now it's this crazy Mark of the Beast bracelet, which I think is great. But it's all sorted. We have dietary things in our family, so we was like, hey, friend, we need gluten-free stuff, and they made it, and it was wonderful. They brought it to us, and all the soda you can drink, and you go to the park, and everybody's happy, and everybody's nice, and it's fun. You do the rides, and there's this Disney has this smell. At least in my brain, it does, and it feels safe. And I just thought, I was thinking. So we watched Moana Saturday night. And I was thinking about it Sunday morning. I thought, yeah, Disney's kind of like a stand-in for heaven. Not like it should be. I'm not saying that if you're tired of this world and you wish you could go to heaven, go to Disney instead. That'd be interesting marketing, wouldn't it? Hey, you ready to go to heaven but not yet ready to die? Disney. But I think it sort of scratches that itch, that sense that, and that's what I started thinking then. I thought, we're kind of all sort of restless in that. Well, I'm restless in that way. I wonder if you are. If you want to let me know if you're tracking with this, then let me know. And it got me thinking about the tension we live in as believers of being sort of content in this life, but also really restless because we're not yet exactly home. Things aren't as they will be when we're sort of in the kingdom, right? I would say that I believe I live in a kingdom, and my king is a good king. And I think there will come a day when his reign, his kingdom will be consummated, and the earth will be made new, and things will be in his kingdom as they have been promised to be. The lion will lay down with the lamb, and there'll be no more tears, and there'll be no more bill collectors, and no more hate, and no more walls, right? No more fences, no more division, no more us and them, no more them, just us, we. And I think that it's okay that I should yearn for that. I think we even see that language in some scripture. I think that idea of like we along with the earth, we're waiting for that time when it's all fully and finally settled. But then I was thinking about the fact that we also need to be content. So it's this interesting push and pull between being content, experiencing contentedness, right? Paul says, listen, if you have food and clothes, you're good. And I think about my life and the things that I think I want, or the things that I like, and I think, wait a minute, I have more than what I need. I have a wife that I could never have sort of deserved, and I have children who represent grace to me, are better than I could have merited. They are better children. If you were giving out children based on what kind of parent you were, it's like I cheated. They're better than I am as a parent. So I'm surrounded by all these I have an embarrassment of riches. I am content in that way. I have a job, and with that job comes any sort of series of stresses and frustrations and concerns, but also friendships and relationships and fulfillment and the things I get to do and the way I get to operate. So I'm really content, but then I'm also decidedly very restless because things are not yet like they should be. So I don't know. I guess I guess there's no sort of, the encouragement's a weird one, right? Because on the one hand, I would say, man, my hope for you, my prayer for you is that you would find contentment in your life right now. But I can't see your journey, and I don't want to be dismissive or flippant about the struggles you face or the things you wish, because I know what it feels like to be restless and sort of stirred up inside. So yes, as much as we can be, I think we should attempt to sort of be content with what we have, unless obviously you're in like a bad situation. And for heaven's sake, let's not be silly about this. But on the flip side, I would say, oddly, don't run from that restlessness you might feel, that sort of unsettledness, because we're not yet fully in we're not home. We're not fully home yet, because there are things that are better. They're waiting for us. It's not Disney. It is what the best we can call it now is heaven. I remember the first church I worked at, the pastor preached a sermon on heaven, and I really appreciated this because nobody knows. I mean, I know that kid. The kid said the kid went to heaven, and other people have said that. It's not my place to say or not to. In fact, we have in Scripture, Paul seems to indicate that he was taken to heaven in an out-of-body experience or whatever. I don't know. That hasn't happened to me. Okay. But he said, I can tell you about heaven. I would describe heaven in one word. And he said that word is better. I really liked that. One, because it was not a pretentious sermon. It wasn't trying to, there's 12 gates and it's this, for heaven's sake. Better. And I think that does a really nice job of sort of expressing, encapsulating the tension I'm describing. Things here on this earth can be good. In the midst of frustration, in the midst of, for my life, in the midst of, as I've mentioned before, I've been praying for particular and specific things in my life and in my home and the lives of my loved ones for now a series of years. That's frustrating, but in the midst of that frustration, in the midst of waiting, in the midst of striving, things can be good. But it's okay that part of our souls, part of our hearts, whatever, sort of recognize that things could also one day be better. And I just want to say that they will be. Maybe sometime I'll talk about why I think God will save everybody. Heaven's for everybody. But not today. It's okay if you don't feel that way. It's funny, that's a knee-jerk. I have to say that. I've been through so much in my life, and my journey sort of theologically or whatever has been so kind of circuitous and difficult that I have this knee-jerk like, hey, it's okay. Anytime someone tells me they watch my videos, I apologize. Hey, I saw your videos. I'm sorry. Maybe I should work on that. Listen, thank you for watching. Yeah, it means a lot to me. If you ever feel like these are worth sharing, would you share them? And if not, don't. I trust you for it. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Stephen at don'ttrustthisman.net. Find us on Facebook. Don'ttrustthisman on Instagram. And then I don't know about Snapchat. I have a thing. I think this is DTTM, but I have no idea. If you snapped something, I wouldn't even know how to get to it. I'm old, but I'm not going to give up. I think I can do it. I got to keep my brain elastic. Listen, until we're together again, be well. I'm coming back to the heart of... Oh, we could do like Justin Bieber. Heart of worship. Oh, I could do like a whole human video. I'm coming back to the heart of worship, and it's all about you.